Well, hello scrappers, Mike here, welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about selling your gold. Yes, selling your gold, and every time I talk about selling gold or even mention selling gold or even intimate selling gold, I get all these messages and emails and comments in the videos that, no, don't jump the gun, don't go off half-cocked, don't sell your gold, hold on to it, gold's going to explode, you don't want to sell it now. Well, gold never explodes, okay? You can wait for years and it's not going to explode. But, you know, crap happens, you know. Air conditioner goes out in our rental house and needs to be replaced. Travel expenses, unexpected bills, you know. That stuff doesn't wait for gold prices to peak when they happen. And this hobby has to pay for itself. So, and some of the money gets plowed right back into this channel. I'm filming with my brand new, to me, camera up there in full HD. So from now on, all my videos in the future will be filmed 100% in glorious HD for viewers' comfort and enjoyment. So yeah, the money goes, the money comes in handy for lots of things. Yes, from time to time I sell my gold, and I think from time to time, you know, if you've been watching my videos, you know, I've taught you how to extract gold from e-waste and purify it, refine it, and then melt it down and make some nice ingots that you could stack and you can just hold on to and pull them out. Oh, my precious, from time to time. But sooner or later, something's going to happen and you're going to need some money. And you're going to want to sell that gold, I guarantee it. So today in this video, I'm going to show you the ways you can sell your gold. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the economics of precious metals, okay? We're going to address first off the idea that you need to hold on to your gold because it's going to explode. Well, I'll put up a graphic over here that shows you the trading range gold's been in for the last few years. And yeah, there's a few minor peaks there, but really it's going sideways. It is not going up the last few years. And like I said, you know, emergencies, unexpected bills, whatever, they come along. They're not waiting for the peaks to happen, all right? I hope you can hear me over the wind. So you're going to wind up selling your gold when you need the money, not when it's peaking out price-wise, okay? Now, I did get lucky. I sold some gold recently, and I caught the tail end of this little peak over here, but that was more pure luck than skill or planning on my part, because you never know what the price of gold's going to do. Now, I keep expecting, with inflation running the way it is, for the price of gold to creep up. And so far it just hasn't happened. I mean, it should be correlated to inflation, but there's other macroeconomic things going on out there, and people are shuffling their money into bonds as bond yields go up. So as interest rates go up, so gold is kind of being a little forgotten about right now, and it is not going up the way you would expect it to. And who knows if or when that's going to change. And when you suddenly need some cash, you know, to fix the car, fix the air conditioner, whatever, you can't wait for the peak in the gold price to sell. So, you know, just think of your gold that you've recovered from e-waste or jewelry refining or whatever and stashed in the back room or the safe deposit box as just emergency money. Just think of it as like that. That's what I use it for, okay? Emergency money. So, and then silver. We'll talk a little bit about silver too, because silver is even more ridiculous than gold. I have so many people telling me that I need to concentrate more on silver. I need to accumulate silver. I need to hold on to it because silver's just going to explode at some time in the future. It's going to become so valuable. Well, I mean, here's a chart on, you know, the last few years of silver. And, well, it's in even a worse condition than gold. It's headed down. Now, if you look at long term, like over the last 50, 60, even 100 years, there have been some outrageous peaks in silver. Unsustainable peaks, where silver prices shot up to the moon for no good reason and then plummeted right back down to earth just as fast. Silver has been the victim of a lot of pump and dump schemes over the years, but there's really no economic reason for the price of silver to take off. You know, if somebody's telling you that silver's going to take off, somebody's telling you this or that stock's going to take off, somebody's telling you that gold's going to take off, you got to remember, everybody out there giving you this kind of advice has an agenda, all right? Usually, they're holding on to a lot of that stock or bond or commodity, and they want to get rid of it at a decent price, so they're telling you it's going to explode, you need to buy it, so they can unload it. That's usually what's happening. Pump and dump schemes every day, everywhere, pump and dump schemes. Don't fall for them, okay? The odds that you're going to stack away a lot of silver at a reasonable price and then sell it during that 35 minutes when it's hitting an astronomical peak before it crashes back down to Earth, the odds of that are really slim. So, you know, don't fall for it. So sooner or later, you're going to have to sell your gold, I guarantee it. So today we're going to talk about ways to sell your gold. And there's basically 4 ways to sell your gold. There's person to person. There's selling it to a refiner. They're selling it to a trusted jeweler or coin dealer that you've dealt with before. And they're selling it on places like eBay or whatnot. So we'll talk about each of these 4 options and what advantages and disadvantages they have. The first and best way, in my opinion, to sell your gold is person to person, if you can make it happen. If you know somebody or can find somebody who's interested in buying some gold bullion and is willing to pay you the spot price or close to the spot price for it, person to person is probably going to get you the most money, and there won't be any bureaucratic nonsense and paperwork involved. You just hand them the gold, they hand you a wad of cash, everybody goes home happy, nobody knows the difference. That's the best way, if you can make it happen. It's hard to guarantee that somebody's going to be around who wants to buy some bullion when you need some money. I know a guy who wants to buy my bullion, but he's out of town, and he's not going to be back anytime soon. When he does get back, I hope to have some more bullion ready to sell him. But right now, he's not around. I can't contact him. I needed a little money, so I sold my gold a different way. But if you can sell person to person, that is without a doubt the best way. Everybody's happy, and there's no bureaucratic entanglements. Okay? Okay, the next best way is to sell to a refiner. And there's several of them out there that have good reputations. Okay? If you watch 3 Tips, you know he uses ARA Gold as his refiner of choice. Manhattan Gold and Silver is another big one. And there's others out there. Just, you know, do a search and look at how they're rated, you know, how they've been reviewed by people. Or stick with the ones you know. Now, refiners, they're gonna take a cut. I mean, because they're middlemen. Okay, they're going to refine the gold, which costs them money, and they're going to sell it to somebody else, probably as bullion at the spot price. Okay, but they got to buy it cheaper in order to finance their operation. So you're not going to get the full spot price for gold when you sell to a refiner. You're probably going to get about as close as you can get anyway, except person to person. But of course, if you need the money in a hurry, that's not going to work, because you got to call them up, you got to lock in a price, you got to ship them the gold, they got to weigh it and test it and confirm that it is what you say it is, and then they'll cut you a check and mail it to you or do an electronic funds transfer to you. But all that's going to take days at a minimum, maybe a week or more, okay? Maybe even longer. If you need the money in a hurry, that might not work. So, you know, like I say, there's advantages and disadvantages to each of these options. And with the refiner, it's just going to take a little bit of time. Plus, there's going to be paperwork. There's going to be bureaucratic BS hoops you're going to have to jump through. There's going to be paperwork you're going to have to fill out. You may have to provide a thumbprint. You may probably have to provide your picture ID, all this good stuff. So keep that in mind. All that has to be jumped through. You have to set up an account with them and provide all that information before you can do business with them. Because there are laws out there saying they have to account for where all the gold came from in case it might have been stolen. Just like pawnbrokers do and used equipment dealers and whatnot. So there's going to be paperwork and bureaucratic nonsense you're going to have to jump through, so keep that in mind. Okay, next best. And the route I took this time was to go to a trusted jeweler or coin dealer. Now this this time I sold my gold to a jeweler that my family has been doing business with for generations. We know them, they know us, and I've sold gold to them before. Even though, you have to go through all the paperwork and provide a thumbprint and stuff, and this may be different in different states, I don't know. Here in Florida, you have to provide a thumbprint, just like you're pawning stuff or selling stuff to a pawnbroker. It's basically the same paperwork. And, you need a picture ID and all this rigmarole. Of course, I'm in their system, so it's a little quicker. They just print out the sheet, I sign it, I put my thumbprint on it, they hand me cash and take my gold. So, but still, if you're just, first time, you're going to have to go through all this setting up an account with them, filling out all the paperwork if you're not in their system, and so on and so forth. So keep that in mind. And their payout's not going to be as good as a refiner's because they're a middleman, but they're between you and the refiner. They're going to take the gold you sell them, and they're going to sell it to a refiner. So they have to take their cut. The refiner takes his cut. So you're going to get a little less from the jewelry store or the coin dealer than you would from a refiner. So the jeweler I deal with will buy 24 karat gold at the 22 karat gold price. So sounds like a bad deal, but if you need money in a hurry and you got a few ounces of gold laying around, hey, you can walk in there with that gold and walk back out 20 minutes later with a wad of cash that would choke a horse. Okay? So again, advantages and disadvantages. Advantages, you get the money right now. Right frickin' now. Disadvantages, you're not going to get paid as well for the gold as you would by using some of these other methods. So keep that in mind. Now, again, somebody you trust. Maybe shop around a little bit, and see if you can get a better price at, another place. Don't sell it the first place you go and they hit you with a price. Go next door or down the street and see what they're willing to pay. Try a jewelry store, try a coin dealer, try whatever. Try several and try and get a good price. Again, I have a relationship with these people. They're not going to screw me. And I realize they have to make a little money in the deal too, so we're both coming out of this happy, okay? So, but yeah, shop around. Don't take the first offer that somebody gives you. It may not be great, especially if it doesn't sound good, okay? Shop around. You might be able to do better. And one helpful hint, if you're dealing with jewelers or coin dealers, it might be better to make rounds out of your gold than ingots, okay? Because a lot of their gold testing equipment is meant to test the purity of coins. And they don't do ingots well. They don't fit underneath the little sensor that they use, if they're using that particular type of tester. So it might be better to do rounds. In fact, the next time I melt down some gold, I'm going to probably make some rounds just so I can sell them to a jeweler or a coin dealer a little bit easier than the ingots. Because they actually had to melt one of my ingots down to get it in their tester just because it was a little too tall. So, I mean, they didn't charge me for that. They didn't mind. I didn't mind. That's another thing. If you're selling to like a coin or a jewelry dealer, you walk in off the street with some homemade ingots or rounds, they're going to be looking at them a little bit skeptically. Now, I've done business with them before, so they know me, but still they have to test. They have to be sure. So, but, if you walk in off the street with your homemade ingots or rounds, they're going to look at them a little skeptically, and they're going to want to test them. And I tell them, hey, test away. I don't care if you have to file into them. I don't care if you have to cut them in half. I don't care if you have to melt them down. Do whatever you need to do to assure yourself that that's good, pure gold. And they're happy then. They'll go back and they'll run a few tests and they say, okay, here you go, here's your money. Because people do try to cheat. There could be like low carat gold that's been plated over with 24 karat. There could be a lot of people will hollow out an ingot and fill it with tungsten, because it's about the same mass as gold. So, people do try to cheat, so they have to be a little bit skeptical until they get to know you. And even after they get to know you, they'll still run it under their tester just to be sure. So, be ready for that. Don't take it personally. They got to protect themselves from the scammers, okay? And then the last way, really, that you can sell your gold is through some sort of online auction site like eBay. And some channels out there do that. There's a big one out there, starts with S. He's always selling his stuff on eBay. Now, he has a whole lot more viewers and subscribers than I do. I suppose there's going to be enough fanboys in his audience that they're going to want to bid up the price of his gold to something over spot value, maybe. So that's probably why he does it. I mean, my audience isn't that big, you know, and I doubt there's any of you out there who are silly enough to want to pay more than spot value for something just because I made it. You know, you could sell your stuff on eBay if you've got a huge following of people who are going to really bid it up to the stratosphere beyond all reason of what it's actually worth. Now, if you don't have that big fan base and you're just trying to sell stuff on eBay, this is going to be my least favorite way of doing it, okay? Because everybody on eBay is looking for a bargain, okay? It's like the world's biggest garage sale. Nobody's looking to spend top dollar on anything. They're all looking to get off cheap. So, you know, they're not going to want to pay you full spot price or even anywhere near full spot price for it. And once you do sell, eBay's going to take a cut. Whatever payment system you're using is going to take a cut. You're going to have to ship it, which is going to take another chunk of money out of it. And, you know, eBay's going to report this to the IRS. You've got the possibility that people aren't going to be happy with the transaction and they're going to leave you negative feedback at best, or at worst insist on getting their money back. And eBay, being so buyer-centric, will give them their money back right out of your account and may not even make them send you back your gold. So yeah, eBay is the least favorite of the four options. And in fact, I have never tried selling any of my gold or precious metals on eBay and don't know that I ever will. I'll probably use one of the other options that have a better payout and less potential problems. Okay? So, anyway, just a quick video today about selling your gold. I hope you found it a little bit interesting, useful, educational, informative, whatever. Give it a like and subscribe to see my future videos. And check out my second channel, Electric Geek 64. There's good stuff going on over there. If you're into electronics or retro computing, I think you'll find it interesting. Check it out. And I will see you in the next video where we'll be making some more gold. And thanks for watching this one. I'll see you then. Bye.